Hey everyone, Keith from Running Lab. As we embark on our 16-week training plan for our half marathon and marathon group, I want to remind you that strength training is going to be one of the really important parts of that. So in order to make it easy on you guys, in order to make sure nobody skips strength day on Wednesdays, I put together a strength training plan. Once a week I'm going to post a video on here so that it makes it easier to follow. So first week is going to be a really simple plan that I put together. We're going to have 3 rounds: legs, upper body, core. I want everybody to do at least 3 rounds of each exercise. If you're a beginner, you're going to be doing 10 sets or 10 reps. If you're intermediate, you're going to do 15. If you're advanced, you're going to do 20. So I'm just going to go through each round one time, just doing 10 reps, the most basic workout we can do. And that's going to make it easier for you guys to follow along. So let's get going. So we're going to start with our legs. We're going to start with just simple body weight squats. This is going to be a really important recurring exercise we do a lot of. So really dig your heels in, kind of engage those glutes, point your toes out just a little bit, about hip to shoulder width apart. And we're just going to drop back into those heels, into those glutes, kind of balance your body so that your knees aren't coming too far forward over your ankles. And get down to at least 90 degrees. We don't want to go down so far that we're torquing our knees or anything like that. And we're going to do 10 reps here. All right, next exercise is just going to be mountain climbers. So this is going to be working on our hip flexor and our knee drive. We're going to do 10 reps per knee this time. So when we're doing these, we want to make sure we're staying in a pretty strong plank pose and driving our knees up into our chest while engaging that core and engaging that psoas and those hip flexors that run throughout the front side of the hip. So after that, we're going to be doing bridges. So this is going to hit our hamstrings and our glutes. So flat on the floor, feet flat on the floor, knees up. Bring those heels kind of back close to the butt. And we're just lifting those hips up and that pelvis up. Make sure you're really engaging the glutes so that we're not straining the back or putting all that work on the hamstrings. Okay, excellent. And then to hit our lower legs, our calves, we're just going to do some simple calf raises. So just about hip width apart with the feet. We're going to bring our heels up, get forward on those toes, really drive into that big toe as you lift those calves up. And make sure you're not collapsing down. You want to come back down slow. The slower we go, the more effective this is going to be. So it's going to put our calf and our Achilles kind of under this weight-bearing load. The slower we go, the more eccentric load we get, and that's going to make our Achilles especially more resilient, more elastic, and that's going to give us more power, and it's going to keep that area of our foot healthier. So don't rush through this. That downward phase of this is going to be just as important as the upward phase. All right, and that's the 4 exercises that we have in our leg sequence today. Feel free to pause the video here so that you can repeat that. We're going to be moving into our upper body portion here. So remember, we're doing at least 3 sets. You can do as many as 5. If you feel like you can do more reps, try 15 or 20 of these. So going into upper body, we're going to start with push-ups, chest, shoulders, back. This kind of hits the entire gamut of muscles in our upper body. So just making sure we're keeping a really strong plank pose. We're keeping the core engaged, we're keeping the glutes engaged, and we're going through the full range of motion. So this is another one where we definitely don't want to go too fast. We want to keep those muscles under tension, under load, and make sure we're working in both directions. So if going slow means you can't get quite as many reps, that's fine. Keep going slow, keep getting through your full range of motion, and make sure every push-up counts here. Very good. All right, next we're going to be doing tricep dips. So the one piece of equipment I have here is just a chair, so I can do some reverse tricep dips. You can do these from the floor, but it's just a little bit more effective if we raise ourselves up a little bit. So start in this straight position, straight posture. And then we're dropping down, coming at the hips, we're coming to about 90 degrees of the arms, coming back up. Try to come back up to that straight posture. Add a little hip drive in there so it's more of a full body exercise. But we should really be feeling this on the back of the arms. All right, and then our next two moves are going to be to strengthen the back. First the upper back, and then the lower back. So having a strong back is going to make it easier for us to keep our posture straight, keep our shoulders rolled back. And that's going to make it easier for us to breathe and keep our posture straight up and tall. So the upper back exercise we're going to do here is a reverse snow angel. So we're just lying prone on our stomachs, starting with the arms out in front of us. We're going to try to keep those shoulders and that chest lifted. Raise our arms out in front of us, and we're going to come all the way around. See if we can get our wrists to kind of touch those hip points back there. And we're going to go through this 10 to 20 times. All right. So you should feel that kind of in the delts, right between the shoulder blades, in that upper back area. And then we're going to go into back extensions. Come back down into that same position, but all the way flat. We bring our hands back by the hips, palms down, and we're just going to peel that chest and shoulders up off the ground. We're going to do that 10 times. Kind of feel like you're reaching back towards your feet with your hands. And you're going to feel this strengthen the lower back. You're also going to feel it stretch out those lower abdominals and even that psoas muscle a little bit where the hip flexor is. All right, excellent. Again, feel free to pause the video here and go back through that round a couple more times, up to 5 times. It's up to you if you want to go through this whole circuit and then repeat it as one round. But we're going to move on to our core round now. We're going to start with an exercise called dead bug. So this is one of my favorite core exercises for running because we keep the core nice and stable and solid while we move the arms and the legs at the same time, kind of like we do when we're running. So we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. We're going to drop them down. Make sure we're keeping that back flat, so we're pulling our belly button in towards the spine. We're going to bring them back up. All right. After dead bugs, we're going to move into Russian twists. So kind of working on that rotational strength. A lot of rotation in our body when we're running. We want to make sure our abs and our obliques can handle that and keep our spine safe and stable. So we're going to take about a 45-degree angle for the upper body. Extend those legs out in front of you a little bit with a nice generous bend in the knees. We're going to rotate from side to side. And then moving into a reverse crunch. So getting back on our backs. I'm going to start with our heels just barely touching the ground. And then we're going to lift, bring our knees in towards our chest. So we're lifting our tailbone, bringing our knees in towards our chest. Try to keep those knees together and feel a nice squeeze in those lower transverse abdominals. All right, excellent. And then we're finishing with a traditional elbow plank. So these isometric holds for our abdominals will be really, really beneficial just to keep that core stable, keep everything solid so that we can move through our running motions without things getting unbalanced or being pulled out of alignment. So keep our back strong, keep our hips strong. We want to have a really, really strong core. And for beginners, we're going to do 30-second hold. If you're intermediate, do a 45-second hold. If you're more advanced, go ahead and do a minute hold. Remember, you're going to be repeating this. So if you want to try to hold it till failure, wait till that last round to try to hold it till failure. Leave something in the tank. And then to come out of this, you're just going to drop your knees nice and gently. Come up onto all fours. And that's going to be it for our first week of strength training. I hope this helps you follow along a little bit to those files that we posted in Team Running Lab Facebook group. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And just make sure you're not skipping strength day. I promise I'll get better at making these videos as we go along, but I hope this one helps. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys at the next group run.